What do we all think was the real reason why Kawhi left Toronto? He never wanted to be there in the first place? He wanted to escape the cold weather? He wanted to go home to Cali? Well, these are reasons, but not the main reason you should keep watching for. This is Topic Tackle. Let's go. What's good, people? JC3 here, and let's begin with the real reason why Kawhi left Toronto. The consensus thought was that when the Raptors traded for Kawhi, they'd be renting him for 1 year before he moved on to one of the two LA teams. It just so happened that Kawhi turned in one of the greatest individual playoff runs ever. Take a listen. He averaged 30.5 points per game for a championship team, placing him in the company of these other champions. He led all players in win shares with 4.9, ranking him 6th all-time in postseason history for this statistic, and he did this in his first and only playoff run with the Raptors. This is a 2K type storyline if you ask me. And this really was a 2K type storyline because Leonard dipped for the LA Clippers right after winning a title with Toronto. And again, many of us thought he left Toronto to get out of the cold weather, go home to Cali, the place he always wanted to play. Well, according to Josh Lewenberg of TSN, among other reasons, one of the things Kawhi told the Raptors when he met with them in Toronto last summer, according to a source, was that he didn't think they were good enough to repeat. He may not regret his decision, but if nothing else, now he knows what he left behind in Toronto. They would have been good enough. All I can say is, amen, brother. This is so accurate in retrospect. Let's take a quick look at how Kawhi left a potential dynasty. Kawhi left a Toronto Raptors team that just took the Boston Celtics to 7 games, coming within 5 points of the Eastern Conference Finals. They did this with 6-foot Kyle Lowry leading them in scoring, followed by 6'1" Fred VanVleet. And not to mention, their talented young star Pascal Siakam, for lack of a better word, struggled, posting 14.9 points per game on 38.2% field goal shooting. Compare these numbers to last year's NBA Finals, and it's clear that Siakam performs much better as the number 2 player at this point in his career. Through 2 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, Boston has blown multiple double-digit leads to the Miami Heat, as they simply can't find someone to close out games. So let's put 2 and 2 together, shall we? If Kawhi was on the Raptors, they would have beaten the Celtics. The Celtics have blown multiple double-digit leads to the Heat due to no closer stepping up for them. The Raptors had a closer, Kawhi Leonard. The Heat have been incredible this postseason, but do the Raptors make the finals with Kawhi? It's highly likely. Now here's where you may say, yeah, Kawhi's a closer and all, I get that, but what about his choke job with the Clippers? And I acknowledge this. To be fair, Kawhi deserves criticism for games 6 and 7 against Denver because for the first time in his career, he melted down on the big stage. At the same time, we all know that Playoff P and Lemon Pepper Lou, 2 of the Clippers' key scorers, didn't provide much help. Kawhi made great points about the Clippers' basketball IQ after Game 7, and this is a huge reason why they failed. The Clippers went from a team that showed tremendous hunger and heart by pushing the Warriors to 6 games in last year's first round to one with too many egos and inconsistent lineups throughout the season, which left them with no identity. Yes, Kawhi deserves blame, but we must also recognize that he isn't a vocal leader like LeBron who's going to call guys out. He simply shows up, plays his best, says a few words, and leaves. This is the first time in his career that Kawhi has played on a dysfunctional roster, and after the 2021 season, he and Paul George could dip, making this next season literally championship or bust. So, should Kawhi have stayed in Toronto? You let me know what you think in the comments down below, and we'll be back with more Topic Tackle coming soon. Stay solid, people.